like that. Ooh, I like that.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Everybody?
Yeah. I mean, nobody's watching quite yet, but good morning to you. So I had a funny thing happen this morning that I don't know. So I woke up. Obviously I woke up in my bedroom and I'm upstairs. You know, you walk downstairs, you're like, holy crap, someone's in the front yard, and it was like this big machine to cut branches off the tree. Right. So like the landscapers of our, I don't know, HOA or whatever are trimming the tree. And so I literally sit backwards on the couch and I'm looking out the window. And my partner Brian, he comes down, he was like, nobody watches you do your job. Right. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, but I don't do anything cool. Right. I don't have a machine that takes me up to let me cut down a tree. Right? I don't have a Zamboni. I always want to do a Zamboni. People have jobs that I want to do like for one day. And I know this is a weird starting topic, but do you have any jobs like that you look at, you're like, that is such a cool job. I know I wouldn't be able to do it long term, right? Because at some point in time I'd like cut a finger off or something if I'm trimming trees. But is there a job that you look at that you're like, wow, I would do that for one day?
Well, first of all, trimming trees is fun. I would have sat on the couch with you.
Yeah.
So, like, hey, watch the trees. That's cool.
Yeah, and pieces were falling down, and there was this guy with like a rake that was hitting them as they came down so that they wouldn't hit the house. It was so funny. I'm like, I'll be the rake dude, play baseball with tree branches.
I could not be the rake guy because I would totally screw it up and hit somebody.
Sure. Or I'd hit it the wrong way, maybe, and it would actually hit the house instead of go away from the house. But anyways,
or the person cutting the tree, don't hit the person with the chainsaw.
Right. That's a bad thing, right?
But I think I agree with you. Like, that's, and also I disagree. You get watched all the time. Technically, when we're all hanging out in the room, we are watching each other and like cheering each other on. And
but I think he meant like nobody's like being a
looky-loo.
Actual like looky-loo, yeah.
But nobody's over your shoulder, which makes work difficult sometimes.
It does.
That can make difficult work when somebody's over your shoulder. So
but it got me thinking a little bit about like the jobs that I want to do or the jobs that I think are cool. And I think it'll lend into kind of our topic of today a little bit, because I look at other people's careers, right? I watch people online just like everybody else does. And I'm like, oh, they did something cool. I want to do something like that for my business, right? Or, just being a silly kid, right? You look at the hockey Zambonis and I want to ride around the Zamboni on the ice a couple of times, right? That's a cool job. But in reality,
or being a zookeeper with lions and tigers, oh my.
See, doesn't it sound like one day would be really fun until it tried to eat you? Right. Okay. So 100%, I'm with you. But I think one of the things that I get to with the topic that we're going to be talking about today is, how do I say reality without it coming out like people don't live in reality?
It's that you're told you can do whatever you want to do, right? And so
but sometimes it takes time to get there, maybe.
Right. Aspirations and also a knowledge base. Because the kids who were like, hey, I'm going to be an astronaut, they had to follow a path. They had to go to space camp. They had to do science. They had to they had to go to space camp, right?
Like, now I want to look at all the astronauts that have been into space and just be like, did you actually go to space camp? Or did you just decide this in high school? I don't trust you if you to go to space camp. Sorry, it just came out funny in my head.
I love it. Well, because I think of that movie where the boys made the rockets.
Yeah.
right? And like you have to do something scientific. You have to be
interested in it, sure.
And we had that conversation a long time ago about doing what you're interested in, right? But that's the thing is you know, we have people who work in tech and they have specific job searches for which I just learned today for tech people, where it's just a listing of tech jobs. Yeah, I learned that yesterday. I was like, what job site are you on? And of course not one that I can get on. So, and I would say the name of it, but I want to say it was called Dice, but then
you're not sure.
That goes into my geeky, like rolling the dice, you know, D&D nonsense. So I'm not sure because my brain might have broke when he said it. So, but that's the thing is like, where do you find what you're passionate about, right? How do you get connected? And a lot of that, I think, comes from a lot of networking, right? Like as you're growing up with a dream, your teachers are networking for you. They're putting you into the right avenues. And we know, you know, to get to Juilliard, what does that take, right?
Nothing, no skill that Sarah has. So nobody's letting me into Juilliard. Just letting you know.
They would look at both of us and be like, your creativity? What?
Right. No. Sarah can play the drums. Sarah played drums, but Sarah never learned how to read music. So Sarah can't go to Juilliard.
I know how to read music, but I don't know how to hold rhythm.
Oh, see, so hey, maybe we could like go together but I don't think they take half and half. So, but I see your point. What I would want to focus on though is networking, but not in the sense that, how do I say this without offending the networking I go to? Not the networking we're seeing online right now, right? This is actually getting out in the community and talking to people, doing in-person things. And give me 1 second, I need to cough, so take over the conversation for a second.
I'm glad that she's doing that because last time my headset broke and I couldn't hear anything she was saying about the stuff. So, but when we're talking about that networking, right, it's about creating connections with people who are in the community. I live in a community where I'm on Indeed and there's very few jobs listed on Indeed. And I realize that it's a tight-knit community. So people are only hiring people they trust. So I had to go to a temp agency because they're hiring from that temp agency. They have a 400-day, trial. And I think it's not only like they're only hiring from people that they trust, but we all know how expensive it is to hire a new employee. You have to train them. You have to put them on the books. You've got, you have a lot of expenses, and tax-wise, you pay a lot for a new employee. So with them using temp agencies, they're making sure that you're going to show up. There's a 400-day trial period instead of that 60-day that you normally see. And so they're trying to do it in ways that they're going to very smartly fill that position. And they're going to see how you work in the office long term, because we've talked about this, meshing with people short term is easy. But what's that long term look like?
Michael says Dice it is.
Dice it is. There we go. So tech. That is for the
Michael,
tech community.
Is Michael your person? Because I don't think I know Michael.
Yeah, Michael is who I was talking to about the app for tech people.
Wonderful. So yeah, and that leads me to ask people though, like, so if you're on Indeed and you're like, I'm not finding things that fit me, or I'm finding 3 things a week that fit my skill set. One of the things a lot of people don't know about is Idealist. It's idealist.com and .org. I think they own both of them, but it's all nonprofit related jobs. And so it's it can be a lot of different skill sets within nonprofits, but it's only nonprofit jobs, right? Everything from hospitals to, the Red Cross to all the things in between. But if you're not finding it, like you're not, how do I say it? Not finding the right job, because I can't guarantee you're going to ever find the right job, right? Like I don't make promises. But if you're not finding things to apply to on a regular basis, if LinkedIn and Indeed are just turning into black holes of scrolling of jobs that you'll never fit, ask people, say, where are you applying to? Right? Yeah. I've never heard of Dice, but I will probably go check it out. I don't think it's probably my skill set. You said it was tech stuff. But Idealist is a bunch of those type of jobs, but all for nonprofits.
Right, there you go. So Dice, Idealist, there's all kinds of different places. I mean, you have talked about Belay, which is a great place for virtual assistants to go get extra work. Talk to the people who are in your industry, right? Talk to the people who share your passions. That way you can, when you're networking, go to Meetup, right? Meetup? Yeah, Meetup. The other one is the dating app. Don't go there. I mean, you could, but that's not gonna get you the job you want.
I mean, it might get you a job, but we're not endorsing this.
Yeah.
So,
but go to Meetup and meet up with other tech people. Meet up with other people who have interests that you have, because maybe they, that community that you build around you is going to be that support system that might have the idea that you didn't think of.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm using Meetup as an example because I've had about I don't know, maybe a 75 to 25 ratio of good groups to weird groups. So the 25%, I went to one group where it was all women empowerment and, women and Brittany's put her head down because she knows me. I should have realized I wouldn't fit in here, right? Because I'm empowering humans, not necessarily just empowering women, right? And so I get there and I'm like, okay, this is not me. This is like burning bra people, right? Like this is not Sarah, okay? And then the other one I went to, they were so nice, 100%. I just thought, you know what, Sarah, you need something that's not a business thing, right? So I joined a book club and it was great. They were so nice. It was lovely. But the youngest person other than me was 78. And I was like, I went for a while and I just felt like this was not the conversations and the things that I needed in my life at that point, right? And this has nothing to do with anybody of age range. But if I'm going to work with you, age has no bearing to me, right? But if I'm going to hang out with you and have pizza on a Friday night, I need us to have some personal things in common, right? And I felt like I didn't have personal things in common with this group. Now, one lady still emails me because she doesn't text. One lady still emails me about once every couple of months. Hello, how you doing? And, come back. And I'm like, it's all right. We exchanged for a couple of days and everything's fine. So it wasn't a horrible experience, just a weird one. So be careful on Meetup and don't feel bad if you find a group that doesn't fit you. That's all I'm saying.
And that's in any situation. There's Facebook groups out there. I know that for a long time I stalked a Facebook group when I moved to Grand Junction because it's a very specific community-specific group, and I wanted to make sure that I connected with the right people in that group. And so when you're looking at things, it's okay to take your time. When I moved to Shreveport, I posted in a few places looking for community-specific or, different things. I'm a part of a D&D group that's like US worldwide, and I posted about Shreveport, and I found some people, but because I don't drive, just things don't work out very well. So you want to be very conscientious, but also find your people, be in the space, and that's for work. If you are, in a space where you're an assistant, right? It's like when you watch what is it? What's that really good White Collar, right?
Oh,
The
I didn't know where
assistant
we were going.
Jessica. Jessica
Yes.
knows every other assistant for all the other lawyers so that she can make sure
That's
that
Suits.
yeah, Suits. Oh yeah, Suits. And then White Collar had they had somebody, but I can't think.
They might have, but Suits is who you're talking about with the
Yeah, I'm
lawyers.
talking about
and-
Suits, and then White Collar was the FBI one. So,
Yeah.
anyways, Suits, Jessica, she knows all the lawyers and all their, she knows all their people so that they can all cahoot together and help their bosses, right? So look at that community, look at where you want to be. If you want to be an astronaut, how do you get there? If you want to be a vet, right? There's vet techs, and there, you start from one place and you grow, and probably a lot of volunteering so that you can get in with different doctors and different things.
Well, and I think the examples we've been giving are all more for maybe a younger crowd, right? Somebody, because no offense to anybody out there, if you are 48, right, which is what I am, you're sorry to break the news to you, you are never going to be an astronaut.
No.
Sorry, just not happening. I mean, maybe if you're already in the program and you're watching this, you might become an astronaut. But 99.99999% of you in the world right now, if you're 48 and above, you're not going to be an astronaut. But what can you do? Just because you've been something for the last 20 years of your life, whatever that job is, does not mean you have to be that forever. You can have a second career, right? Every military person out there who's done their 20 and out has done something after the 20 and out, because if you join at 18, your 20 and out is pretty early in life. And you either sit around and be bored, or you go do something different with your life. And how do you do that? Does that make sense? Like, what does that networking look like? And I'm not asking you, I'm saying, let's start the conversation per se.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the, find your people. That's the really, go to the job fairs. Different places have job fairs. Go to them. Talk to those people. Those people are looking to hire people, but they're also looking to be a part of the community. So the people who volunteer to go to the job fairs are people, right? People are important in our lives, because look, I'm not a people.
That's the reason I work from home between my computer and, but I love the idea of, yes, going to those job fairs, but also let's say you do own your own company, or you're trying to get into something, that you can do on the side, graphic design, website design, things like that. I'm going to give an example of what happened. This would have been 2 weeks, like the weekend before 4th. So not like this last weekend, but the weekend before. We went to what's called a maker's market. And basically it's just a bunch of, everybody that made bread to wrote a book was there. You get my point, but it had to all be something that you created, a maker. And so it couldn't just be regular businesses. So kind of have that in your head. There were probably a solid 80 to 100 vendors there, right? Like, it was pretty cool. And I'm telling any graphic designer, web designer, small business tech person that wants to work with new businesses, go to some things like this, these little fairs. I picked up 11 business cards, and out of the 11, at least 8 of them, their websites made me cringe. Okay, one lady, I swear, her website had to have been built in like the 1970s before a website could have even been built. It was so old. Like, it was on like the first version ever of WordPress or some shit. I should not swear on YouTube. I am sorry. Okay, so anyways, but my point is that if you're looking for clients or people that you might be able to pitch your services to, you don't necessarily want to do it there, but pick up a bunch of business cards and be like, wow, you're in your head, say this, wow, your logo sucks. You probably need a graphic designer. If I could show you the one logo I'm looking at right now, you'd be like, wow.
Or
okay.
you could be like me and send it to your bestie and laugh at them together.
That's true too. But yeah, like it's just another way to get out there, and you might buy some sourdough. So look at that. Sourdough bread, some business cards, and you might get a couple of clients, right? If not a couple of connections to have conversations with.
Well, and I think that's key too, right? And also, if you're a web designer, go pick up people's cards, message them. Hey, I can help you out a little bit here.
Right, and you don't start with your website sucks. You say like, "Hey, I picked up your business card at such and such an event. You were talking to somebody, whether they were or not, right? Because you don't want to have these conversations in a public way." So I checked out your website when I returned. I see that you're a small business. If you need help with your website, just let me know. Da 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 da. You never say your website. I mean, if you're very bold, I would do it, but I'm not a website builder, and I don't need people to
hire you,
pay me to do that. But anyways, it's just one more way of learning how. And I use website and graphic design on these because it was so prevalent in the people that I picked up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But small businesses need help with a lot of things, right? And if you're somebody that helps small businesses with things, this is a great way to find some clients.
Well, and even as like an office assistant or somebody who helps in office, right? In-person stuff, you can send those people messages and say, hey, I was out, I saw you, and I'm just looking to see if you have the, such and such position. Here's my resume. It was really great to see you and to see your booth. What a great job you're doing with your business. Really working that system of, I saw you in the community. I see what your business is, because some people want to hire people who understand their business, right? I know I've worked in the trucking industry for intermodal. And so I know how to get the carton from the train to the truck to the, to the place, to the location. I know how to do that. I know how they do it. I know how to do the payroll for it. I know how to do the paperwork for the drivers. When you connect with people and you tell them, like, I have 20 years in this, or I have this, you can do that. Or, I've worked similarly and I'm looking to do something different. But everybody kind of, when we're in business or business owners, we all do want that, like, who can join my company that can bring me something, right? Because
what do you offer and what is the skill set you bring? And no, I'm with you. And that story just reminded me of, it's kind of an off topic, not really, but so when I was at the Red Cross, there was a lot of logistics, right? And how do I say it nicely that nobody would have trusted Sarah to do the things that you just said to do, right? Because I don't have that skill set, right? But we had a whole group of people that did logistics, that were volunteers. We did had a whole group of people that did on-site, volunteer management and HR management of volunteers at big events. We had people that had everything in the realm of business doing as a volunteer. And the reason I'm saying this is because if you can't find the job, especially if you're trying to switch jobs, hey, I've done logistics for my whole life and my elbows and knees are shot, right? My shoulders and my knees are shot. I need to learn a new skill. Find a place that you can volunteer, and volunteer work is just as perfect for a resume as a paying job. In fact, on your resume, you don't even have to say it was volunteer work. Work is work, whether it was paid or not. Experience is experience. So if all else fails, if you're like, wow, I'm just stuck in this job, I don't want to do this, I am miserable, and start volunteering somewhere every Saturday morning, every Wednesday night, pick something and find a place. You were saying veterinary clinics before. A lot of veterinary clinics are looking for people to come in and learn things about animals, right? To help take care of them. You feed the cats, you walk the dogs, whatever. And it takes time. It takes the veterinary staff, it gives them time back, right? But it also teaches you a new skill. And I'm just using that as an example. There's other ways to network and find those new adventures without necessarily the normal networking or job sites.
Yeah, I follow a politics girl, and she had a thing out for people to go do polls, right?
Sure.
Apply to be a volunteer for the polls and for, getting votes out there and, just using your voice.
Yeah, Brian did that one year. So here in Illinois, it's actually, and I joke, it's a paid job. He signed up for it because he's like, oh, I think it'll be cool to be like a poll monitor. And I can't remember what the flipping job was. But he got to be there the whole day on voting day, you know what I mean? And deal with people. And I'm like, my worst thing ever, right? Like, I don't want to do this. And so, but he got a whomping $100 for it, paid job. It was experience. He loved doing it, and it gets you out there meeting people. Do you know how many people, like, he's the type of guy that by the end of the grocery store line, he's in somebody's wedding. Okay. Right. So the amount of people that he met that day was astronomical. And it's an interesting way to meet people and to get yourself out there. So.
Yeah. And to leverage your time, right? We're so... I think it's funny. We have this conversation of always being busy, but we're really just doing busy work, right? We're really just doing like I couldn't sleep yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put my dishes away, and I'm just gonna put my mop away because I have ADHD and I left all these things in random places in the house. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do all these things while I avoid sleep. And reality is we're not that busy sometimes. We just haven't prioritized our time correctly. But also we tend to avoid like sitting down and reading a book, or we tend to avoid the doing things for ourselves and making space for ourselves. And, it's a very difficult conversation of like, where do we time manage? How do we put these things together? And I mean, I say that easily because you and I, we don't got kids. So, so if you have kids, I get it. You don't have time.
Yeah. My youngest is 18. Yours is 19 now, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So
yeah, we get it when you have children, like, but other than that, a lot of times it's really just busy work.
It is. And sometimes to round this out, I think, if you're feeling always busy, I don't care if you have kids or no kids or whatever. If you're feeling always busy, like you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to sit down until 9:00. Or 9:00 rolls around and you're like, I'm exhausted because I haven't sat down at all today. Do a reflection. Take 20 minutes and just say, what did I do today that actually pushed me, my business, my family, pick topics forward, right? Or was I just doing stupid stuff all day that didn't matter because I thought it needed to be done? If it's not pushing you forward, right? And sometimes there's mundane things. Sometimes you have to put the mop and the dishes away, right? I think that's what you just said. But if that waited until the next day, would it have really mattered? No. And so a lot of people get into their head that this something has to be done in a certain way at a certain time all the time. And if it's not, then you're failing at life. Take a step back and reflect on that, Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think we all have the time. We just have to take the stand of where am I actually putting it?
Yes. And I think that goes back to the original topic of networking, getting yourself out there, meeting people, either for clients or new jobs. You got to find the right space. You got to find the right time to do it. And you got to make time to do it. And if you're constantly busy or constantly feeling flustered with the things that you feel you have to do, maybe you don't really have to do them all and you have to be over here, right? Allocating your time. That's just my opinion. We are coming up on 29 minutes, actually 30 minutes here. So I will introduce myself and then you can close us out. I am Sarah. I'm with Off the Beaten Path Consulting. All of my links are in various places. Find me and find out what I do. And if you didn't know, I have coloring books and I have named my characters, but nobody knows their names. I am revealing them in the next week or two. So you can be on the lookout for that. All right, Brittany, close this out.
I'm Brittany with BizStorming, and I help business owners find time in their business, basically. But for the most part, this is Unleashed, and we always forget to talk about it. Sarah and I are business owners who really like to help other business owners just know that they're not by themselves. So that is what we do, and that is why we are here weekly.
Sounds good. See y'all next week.
Bye.
1 2 1 2, need my attitude. 3 4 3 4, check my latitude. I like that.